Hello everyone, this is the third episode of Cooking with Just 2mom. Today I'm making my son's favorite meatballs, but I'm going to make a meatball sub with it. This is pretty simple, but messy. I like to use gloves when I make my meatballs because it makes cleanup really easy. Now I'm going to give you the ingredients for the sauce first, even though there's other stuff here. I already prepped with the shredded Parmesan cheese, and there's egg there, but I just wanted to separate some stuff first. So for the sauce, you need a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, which I have already in the pan, 3 cloves of garlic, finely grated, which I grated with this. It's easier for me to grate it with that, so it can be fine, see? And a 1/4 cup of red wine. If you don't like red wine, that's okay, you can omit the red wine, but I like it in my sauce. And fresh basil, which I love fresh basil. The smell is so delicious. A 1/2 cup of beef stock and 1 14-ounce can of crushed tomatoes and 1 cup of tomato sauce. I love making this sauce. My older son loves this sauce and meatballs. When I make this, I make it in batches because he takes it back up north, and I just make a bunch of it and put it in the freezer. It freezes really well, and he just takes them out and lasts for a couple of months. Like I said, I make batches. Now make sure that you put the oven on 425. Let's start with the garlic. Make sure I'm going to put aside because it's finely chopped. You don't want that to get all burnt. So I'm just putting that aside and adding the red pepper flakes. Okay. Cook it so you can smell it, because when it's finely grated garlic, you don't want it to burn. So just until you smell it, it should be like any second. It should be like a less than a minute, basically. Oh my gosh, delicious. Yes. Now, while I'm getting the rest of the ingredients, I put this aside. That smells delicious. Oh my gosh. Now I'm going to stir in the tomato paste. Stir in the tomato paste. And I like to make sure it gets a little cooked. That's tomato paste. It doesn't taste too tomatoey. I just want it to taste like it's getting cooked down. Love it. Oh yeah. Sometimes you need more olive oil. It's okay to put it in there. If you see that your garlic is getting cooked too quickly, just put a little bit of olive oil in it and take it off the burner. There we go. Now while I get the other ingredients, I'm going to take this off because I don't want that burnt, because I love this sauce and I want to make sure it comes out perfect. So let's start measuring everything else. And I'm going to put the wine in here first. So now, because of that, I can put the wine. And let that cook for a bit. Now, like I said, you don't have to put the wine in. I like the taste of the wine in my sauce. And I know my boys do. There it is. You see that? It's coming together nicely. It's cooking down. You can smell it. You want that alcohol to be, cooked out. You just want the taste of it. You don't want the real stuff to be in there. You don't want this for anything else but as a taste for your sauce. You want it cooked down. So make sure you cook it down. Don't let it just, don't put everything in right away. Wait a few minutes, let it cook down for a few minutes, and you'll be good. At least wait about 3 to 5 minutes. You can see it usually like evaporates and stuff. That's why it usually calls for more. But I didn't want to put too much in there. I just want it to be perfectly tasted sauce. Okay, I'm going to put half a cup now of the beef stock. Yep, that's good. And then the sauce is the crushed sauce that I'm putting in. About 14 ounces, but I might put some more as I go. So let's see. Now let's try that. Should have had that prepped. There we go. That's about 14 ounces. Let's see how messy that is. And now for the sauce, it's going to be 8 ounces. And this is when you start putting all the seasonings in there. I'm putting that in there, I don't care. I like red sauce anyway. Let me stir this up a little bit before I start putting all the seasoning. I love the color of this. That brownish red. I love that. And that color is from the wine. Usually it gets a little bit more darker and richer looking. Now, put the salt and pepper. As always, need salt and pepper. I'll give it a stir. See how it tastes, and then I'm going to put the basil in. And then you're good with the sauce. Just wait until you get the meatballs out, and then put the meatballs inside there, and you're all good. So let me taste this and see how it tastes. That was yummy. That is yummy. I love sauce. Yeah. All right, let's put the basil in. Basil, I'm putting the whole thing in because I love basil. Now you just tear it up because it looks way better when you tear it up. You cut it, it gets a little bruised. I know people like to chiffonade the basil, but nah. I just like to tear it up. Why do that? Okay, let's stir this in so give that nice little sweetness to the sauce. You just have to make sure that you don't burn your garlic. Some people just like to chop up the pieces of garlic and just saute it in there so it can cook longer and it won't get burned, which you can do, but I like to mince it. But you gotta, just watch it because that gets burned quickly. Let me see how it tastes with the basil in there. That is delish. I love sauce. This is so yummy. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make the meatballs, the messy part. Here are all the ingredients you need for the meatballs. 1 egg, 2/3 cup of breadcrumbs, and 1/3 cup of milk, which I already put it in here because you need to mix it so that it can, sit and be moist. So you mix it and then leave it there for a few minutes. And then a pound of ground beef. It's a little over a pound. Salt and pepper, which I have in here already. Grated garlic, which is 3 cloves of garlic. And a cup of Parmesan, which I shredded. You can see I shredded it. So now what you're gonna do is just mix all the ingredients with the ground beef, and then just make sure you mix it, but don't mix it too much because then it's gonna be really tough, the meatballs, and you don't want the meatballs to be tough. Then you roll the meatballs about the size of a walnut, maybe a little smaller, and just make sure they're all the same size so they can cook evenly. and then I'm gonna put them in a cookware, and then you'll see the rest. So as you can see, the garlic is already in here, and all this is in here, which is great. So I'm gonna take the ground beef. I'm just gonna put it in here and just make sure I have some on the top of this ingredients. And as you can see, I have my gloves on because it's so much easier when you have gloves. So much easier. And then I put breadcrumbs, and hopefully it'll come out all nice and nice. It smells good. And then, oh, I forgot to do the egg thing. Oh, okay, well that's fine. I'll just put it in here. Okay, I got to mix the egg. Awesome. So let's put the cheese in here, which I love cheese. Parmesan cheese is the best. So good. So just put all the Parmesan cheese in here. Doesn't that look yummy? Can't forget about the rest of the cheese. No cheese left behind, of course. And then usually you get the egg all mixed, which I'm just doing with my fingers because my hands are full of raw food, so I have no choice. So I'm gonna use this anyway to blend everything, right? So there that goes. And now the fun part, which I love. This is so much fun. Oh my gosh. I love this part. Okay, just mixing it, but not mixing it like a mad person. You know what I mean? Just mix it enough because you just want it to, all the seasonings to be blended, but not crazy. So I'm trying to make sure that breadcrumbs are mixed really well. And they are. So now that cheese is gonna make it so yummy. There we go. That's my method. I'm gonna squeeze it for a few seconds and it should be good and incorporated. So now, make sure all the breadcrumbs are everywhere. I'm gonna start taking out the meat and making some meatballs. Nothing crazy. Yep. Now I'm gonna have to move over here because I just realized this is what I'm using. You can put it on a pecan, but this is what I like to use. So I start like this, start making them to this size, and then if they look too big, I start breaking them apart. So I put it in here, it looks a little big, so yeah. That's about the size of a walnut. I think right there. See? I should have made these ahead of time, but I guess I'll just have to cut some of this video. I don't think you guys want to see me roll up all of these meatballs. But I can't touch the phone either. So there it is. But let's just make a few, I guess. And nice. Ugh, I love the way this smells. That cheese and garlic. Whew, the best. The best. Yep, perfect. Cheese and garlic are delicious together. Okay, this is way too big. It's gonna be like a huge monster meatball. Which I want it to cook really well, so I don't want a monster meatball. I know you guys are probably saying, yeah, monster meatball. No. I want the meat to cook inside too. I don't want to be eating a raw meatball. That's just like eating a raw hamburger, which, ugh, I can't stand raw hamburgers. I don't know why. I like my hamburger to be cooked well. Yeah, you heard it. I like it well done. I don't like any blood or anything in that hamburger. It's gross. I just want to see nice pieces of let me move this over a little bit. A nice piece of meat cooked well done, and I'm a happy camper in the lettuce and tomatoes. But yeah, this meatball is gonna be good. It's gonna put it in a nice Italian bread with the sauce and delicious mozzarella cheese, which I love. Okay, here is the meatballs. There's always a baby meatball left, so that's fine. That's the first one I'm gonna eat before any of the other ones are made. Now, what you have to do is spray them so that they don't get burned with cheese. Or you can just brush it with the olive oil, which is not bad. So now we're gonna pop them in the oven for 18 minutes and turn them over in like 9 minutes so they can cook evenly, and then we'll take them out and put them in the sauce. Yeah, I put a cover because it's always splattering everywhere, but I cooked it on low. That's how it usually works. And but it looks delicious. I mean, and it tastes delicious. Your last steam. Woohoo! Fun to steam. There's the mess. But look at that. Delicious. Tell me that doesn't look good. See how the color changed from red to a darker red. And it's so good. But it's so hot. It burned my lips a few minutes ago when I went to taste it. But it's so good, especially with crusty bread. Oh my gosh. So good with crusty bread, which that's why I'm making the meatball sub. Gonna put it in there. Let all that deliciousness just soak into that bread. I mean, I usually make this with pasta too, but I was in the mood for bread. Okay, especially when I have some fresh bread, why not? So I'm blowing it right now because this thing is hot. That basil, so yummy. Delicious. This is delicious. And it's spicy because of the pepper flakes. So if you don't want it spicy, just use, I guess, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper flakes. I used a teaspoon. Okay, so this is like a spicy sauce, which I love. So I turned it off because it's already, see, this lid doesn't work on here. I had the aluminum foil covering it. Yeah, and I don't lose any of that sauce, but I'm just gonna put it off the stove. Oh, perfect. Take it off the stove. And then just wait for the meatballs. Yeah. And I'm gonna make the bread. So I'm going to toast this bread, which is delicious. And I just put this on the stove. Awesome. Which is delicious. I just put crumbs on the stove. And I can't wait. It's going to be so good with the let me put it on there, with the cheese. So I'm gonna put the cheese on here, put some mozzarella. Basically, I want this sub to taste most like, you know, meatballs and sauce. The cheese is just extra. But yeah, 10 more minutes for this to be cooked. I'm going to turn it in 2 minutes. No, in a minute I gotta turn this. I gotta turn this off. So in a minute I'm gonna turn this off so I can open the oven and toss the meatballs to the other side, and then cook it for another 9 minutes, and we're all good. And then we'll cook it in the sauce, of course, for a few more minutes. Now I just took this out of the oven, and I'm going to add them to the sauce. All this delicious goodness is going to be in here. Here is the sauce, and I put the meatballs in here so you can see. I had to scrape off. The reason why I put the oil because there's little bits of meatball in that the pan that I put this in to cook in the oven. So that's why I put the oil. There's some bits in there. I scrape it off, and yeah, it makes the sauce better. I don't care what anybody says. It does. Now, if you want to be healthy, you just leave all those little bits and all the grease out. Fine. But I like it. It just adds to the sauce. And look at that. I mean, this was a small batch. Oh my goodness, I got sauce all over my clothes. But yeah, this is delish. I just can't wait to eat this. Here is the bread with the mozzarella. The cheese, mozzarella cheese, see? All crispy. Tell me that doesn't look good. I can't wait. I might have to just let this be and just eat it the way it is. I mean, where's my little one? Okay, the little one, I can't find it. It's still little, but I'm gonna eat this right here. Try it. See if I want to put it in there. Leave it in there for a bit more. I can tell you it's moist for sure, but I want to leave that in there just for a few minutes, see if we can get some of that sauce in the meat. You know what I mean? But yeah, you don't need to cook this up long. Just hope it doesn't splatter on my phone. Look at that. Tell me that doesn't look yummy. Yummy. And this bread, I guess this mozzarella sandwich is only going to need 2 of these because they're so big. I really want the sauce. That's my favorite part. But yep, meatballs don't need that long. This is like an easy and fast recipe. As you can see, it's boiling away. Yeah. You see that splattering? Yeah, it's good. Let's take it off again so I can turn this on and see how it is. And it's probably perfect. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. But it's hot as heck. Hot! Holy cow! Oh my gosh, this is delicious, and they're so moist because of all the Parmesan that's in there, that shredded. Oh my gosh, it might stick a little bit on the bottom, which is okay because remember there's a lot of cheese all around this meatball, so that's why it's sticking a little bit. But oh my gosh, this is delicious. Oh, I forgot to turn off the stove. This is delicious. There you go. Now I'm going to take out the Italian bread from the oven because I wanted to toast it a little bit more. Now remember, cook the meatballs in the sauce for 15 minutes so that it can absorb that delicious taste from the sauce. Okay, I took out the French bread and hopefully the cheese is still melted, but this is going to melt anyway with the sauce. I mean, tell me that doesn't look yummy. Tell me that doesn't look yummy. Come on. That sauce just there. I mean, delish. Let's see how it tastes. Oh my goodness, this is so yummy looking. Oh, all right. I'm going to hold this. And I gotta wait a few minutes because this thing is hot as heck. So you're gonna have to give me a few minutes to wait and get this done right. Okay, I'm gonna take a bite out of this, okay? Now my hands are gonna get really messy, which I can already see. I'm going to do it. I'm going in. So good. Oh my god, I can't even fit it. Meatballs are way too big. Way too big. Well, it's so good. That sauce and everything. Yeah. Way too big. Maybe a little smaller on the meatball. I usually eat them on pasta and then dip bread into it, the sauce and stuff. So I didn't realize it was gonna be so big. So maybe make the, like I said, make the meatballs just a little smaller. Okay, I'm gonna take a bigger bite now because the bread's, you know, not all there. I got some cheese pull. I don't know. Not good. It's way too hot inside there. Let me try it again. Okay. I will have some cheese pull. I thought I put a lot of cheese. Wasn't joking. Now it doesn't look as pretty now. But it tastes delicious, so it doesn't matter. Tell me that's not good. I told you I put a lot of cheese in there. You just can't see it because it's all in there with the meat. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Just wanted to show you the cheese pull. See, I told you there was cheese in here. Tell me that's not good. And it's still going. Yeah. That is delicious. The only problem is that I really can't talk with my mouth full. This is extremely delicious. Let me see if I don't make a mess here. You can see. Hey, look at that. Definitely delicious. Come on. So, it doesn't look that good right now, but it looked good before. This is extremely delicious. I need something to drink. This sauce is delicious. The meatballs are delicious. Or you can put the meatballs on spaghetti. Very easy. Now, I'm so glad I started to do these cooking videos because I really enjoy cooking for my family. And now I like cooking for you guys. Thank you everyone for watching. And I hope you enjoyed my video. Subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed my video. Bye.